Reading in bed. Reading in bed.
Hello and welcome to Reading in Bed Extracts. Today we're going to read an extract from the memoir called Why Run When You Can Drive and Smoke at the Same Time by Patrick Leber. Our first residence in Virginia was a small apartment near the corner of a busy intersection. My wife Kathy and I were in the process of moving to the East Coast from Fort Wayne, Indiana, and landed in an apartment in Newport News, Virginia. Kathy had stayed back in Indiana to help sell the house, while I moved to Virginia to begin getting us settled in our new place. The traffic noise at the intersection of the apartment provided a constant, comforting hum of cars on the pavement. If a car horn wasn't occasionally blaring, there was a siren wailing from the many emergency vehicles that crossed this hustling area. The junction was a three-way T, with an additional leg being paved to create the new street to make it a four-way intersection. The fourth leg of the junction was not yet open to cars. A 7-Eleven convenience store was at the corner, and our apartment building was right behind the store. One day after work, I decided to take an early evening run. The new street was peppered with large steel road signs on the easels reading, "Newly paved, stay right, and proceed with caution," even though there was no traffic allowed on the road yet. Traffic lines had been painted on the new roadway. It seemed clear that the street was just a day or two away from opening. The large temporary road signs continued for approximately a mile, and they were at each inbound street that fed into the new thoroughfare. Before heading out, I heard on the news that a strong storm was heading our way, a nor'easter. Having lived my entire life in the Buckeye and Hoosier states, I honestly had never heard of a nor'easter. The internet was not popular then, nor were cell phones, so I didn't have quick access to Google to look it up. I planned to run in the centre of the newly paved road. I deduced that while they were allowing the new pavement to cure for the oncoming onslaught of thousands of vehicles, the road was solid enough for a runner to take in a jog, at least according to my untrained construction eye. As I began, I could see the clouds towards the east. At about the 1 mile mark, I heard a rumble of thunder. Shortly thereafter, the skies began billowing with menacing grey clouds, and I saw the first streak of lightning. Common sense told me I had better cut this run short and head back, so I listened to the angel in one ear, while the devil in the other was calling me chicken. Logic said a 2-mile run is better than no run. The storm was now bearing down so fast that I kicked it into the next gear before the first raindrop could hit me. I was running back down the soon-to-be-opened road, headed straight for my apartment. The wind picked up, then light rain, then heavy winds, then hard rain. It got bad quickly. Lightning was cracking right over me as I watched day turn into night in maybe 60 seconds. I was out in the middle of this brand new street with absolutely no cover except for tall pines, which I had learned to avoid. No other humans were in sight. Why would there be? There was a nor'easter coming. In the home stretch headed for cover, I saw the traffic light at the intersection in front of me with the 7-Eleven across the street. I was now in full sprint for the store, still about a quarter mile from the convenience store sanctuary. I had never felt such anticipation to enter a 7-Eleven as I did at that moment. All of a sudden, the huge steel road signs I previously ran past was whisked off their easels, powered by high winds. The square signs started rolling, corners digging into the new pavement as they hurled my way. I was scared to death as all of these heavy metal street signs chased me down. Was I living in a horror film script? Through the pelting rain, safety was in sight at the 7-Eleven, but the lead actor was about to be cut in half by thin steel street signs coming at him from multiple angles. The signs blew past me as I zigzagged to save my life. I was terribly frightened and having an out-of-body experience at the same time. I was able to safely and quickly sprint through the intersection since all traffic had stopped on the road or had pulled into adjacent parking lots to wait for out the storm. I was a mental wreck just as the hailstones flew from the door of the 7-Eleven. The few cars in the parking lot were only there to avoid the assault of wind, rain and lightning. I squeezed between two of them to the entry door. I didn't glance to see anyone's reaction to my passing. I shoved the door open as if I were escaping from jail. Inside the store, there were no customers, the clerk's mouth wide open as his eyes locked on me, as if to say, "And you came from where?" I was soaking wet as I stood on the welcome mat inside the store. I had just seen my life pass before my eyes when I looked at the clerk and asked, "What's a nor'easter?" Note to self, stop being a magnet for wild weather. And that's the extract. So if you like the sound of that book, you can buy it on Amazon and Barnes & Noble, and Patrick also has a website, and I'll include all the links in the description. So thanks for listening. Bye.
Reading in bed. Reading in bed. Reading in bed.